bless the brave soldiers of Israel and the American military, wherever they are, keeping the peace, ensuring freedom and democracy, and making sure that people like Ishmael Haniyeh have no say in the direction of a moral world. Ishmael Haniyeh is no more than she should never have been to begin with. We're sick of terrorism. We're tired of those who live so that others will die. Am Yisrael Chai! My friends, we begin with a tribute to the greatest nation on earth, our beloved United States of America, with the Star-Spangled Banner. And by the way, question yourselves as to whether you'll see any other demonstrators in this plaza flying an American flag. We love America! We are proud Americans! We love the Star-Spangled Banner and we love the United States! God bless America! I'm going to ask world-renowned singer David Serrero to please come forward to lead us in the Star-Spangled Banner, followed by Israel's national anthem, the Hatikvah.
Test it.
Ladies and gentlemen. And now, USA!
USA! USA! USA!
And now, I have the pleasure to sing the Hatikvah.
Oh,
and a big round of applause for the NYPD, please, for being here for us. Thank you to the police. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rabbi.
God bless you. My friends, we're going to chant just one more time for all the American Olympians who are in Paris, bringing home the gold, the silver, the bronze. Tonight, the American male gymnastics team are competing for gold. USA! 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 Go for the gold, baby! My friends, tonight we celebrate the brave men and women of the state of Israel who ensure that freedom is not just an empty word and that never again is not an empty slogan, but an eternal dedication and promise. And we begin with a prayer to God that He always preserve and protect the brave soldiers of the IDF with a very famous Mishabera, which is said in synagogues all around the world by my very dear friend Barrett, all the way from Chicago. We're going to do the Mishabera for the IDF.
Let's hear one more time for our boys and girls in green!
By a man singing, I love Hamas. They normalize saying those words. Well, let's normalize this. Let's normalize Jews standing proud, standing together, be'achdut, in happiness. Because it won't take a bullet to shoot them. It will take us being together in happiness. Together. Let's go. My friends, I love the Olympics, but what we have for you tonight blows Paris away. We have the chief international spokesperson reserved of the IDF, Israel's most eloquent spokesperson, Colonel Conricus. I'm going to tell you, he has made, over the last 24 hours, my living room world famous. He has done CNN interviews, Fox News interviews, CNN from my living room. Jonathan, it's not your pretty face that's getting you all these interviews. It's my couch, okay? You just remember that. Let's hear it for Colonel Jonathan Conricus! Our keynote speaker tonight.
What do you know about Palestine? It's Chinese.
Jews a day for 4 years. That's 3 9/11s a day against the Jewish people for 4 years. 3 pro-Hamas protesters tried to disrupt a play about the Holocaust, comparing the brave soldiers of the IDF who protect Arabs, who protect Muslims, who protect women, who protect LGBTQ rights, trying to compare them to the Nazis. That's the kind of libel, fraudulence, lies against the Jewish people that we have lived with for 2,000 years. And I gotta tell you tonight, I am damn sick and tired of all of these lies. I've had it with all these lies. I will no longer stomach any of these lies. And one man stood up and diffused the situation and allowed the play to go on. He's a Palestinian American. And his name is Sal Sinatra. And I couldn't believe the friendship he showed as a Palestinian American to the Jewish community. And I said to him, my brother, you are bigger, stronger, better looking, with a much better last name than me. But you, my brother, are speaking at our rally for Israel. My friends, welcome our Palestinian brother, because Palestinians and Jews are brothers and sisters under the one God. We are not cousins. We are brothers and sisters. Sal, we are so honored to have you. Please come to the podium.
Hello, everyone. Let's fix this, right? Where do I begin? Where do we begin? In this world where social media will promote the hatred of Jews and the hatred of Palestinian Arabs. I've grown up here in New York City. As he said, my name is Sal Sinatra, but that is a lie. Sal Sinatra is an entertainment name that was given to me because I sing that music by my fans. My real name is Sal Solomon, and I am Palestinian. If we can all mature for a little bit, and maybe the protesters can quiet down, We're going to get some words that have never been said before in the history of humankind. There's a thing called truth. And when I'm talking here, I'm not only talking to you, I'm not talking to them, because I know they're in pain. They are in pain. It breaks my heart to see videos of Palestinian children, women, citizens dying. But guess what? It's because they're human beings. It's not because they belong to my race. And the same way, when I went to that play that he's talking about the other day, and I saw those images of the Holocaust, which we rarely get a chance to see in our society, I was moved to tears because for the first time, instead of media telling me what a genocide was, I saw what a real genocide looked like. The pressure that has been put on the Jewish community has nothing to do with October 7th, nothing to do with 1962. This has nothing to do with 1922 or the 1800s or the 1700s. I spoke to a Yemenis man in the crowd, and he said, "Why are you going to speak for them?" He said, "Tell that the Jews." And I said, "Brother, what do you want? More death?" I'm not coming here to make a speech. I'm coming here so that this war stops. This war must stop today. It must be stopped today. And there are two wants that must be first prioritized. Number one, for the Jewish community and for Israel, a word called safety. Why should a Jewish person have to feel afraid to just speak their mind in public in 2024? Why should an Arab feel like they're left out of this conversation when the world has been sticking their nose in the business of family? And the reason why I say I came to tell truth is because I am a scholar and a studier of ancient knowledge. I've been studying for 4 years. Yes, I am a singer. Yes, I am an entertainer in the new movie Don Q, coming soon to Netflix. But more important, I am and have been watching from here where I grew up in this melting pot of Hell's Kitchen. I grew up. My mother is Puerto Rican and Italian. My father is Nicaraguan, English, and Palestinian. I've seen the pain on both sides, but there's something that I cannot lie about, not even if the people right across the street are my people. You may be suffering as a Palestinian, maybe since 1948, which you call an occupation, but it's not, my friends, it's not an occupation. It's a coming home. In history, Abraham could not wait for Sarah to have a baby. So Abraham had a baby with Hagar, and that baby was Ishmael. Ishmael is the progenitor of the Arab race. Isaac had Jacob. Jacob was the grandson of Abraham. So you're talking about a fight between two children, one the grandson, one the son. What would we all do as I appeal to your senses today? And we have to make them all grow up. It's time to take the children and tell them, relax. And there's someone I blame for this war that's been ongoing. And you're going to be surprised that it's not the Jews. The ones that I blame is the ones that I'm going to name right now. Yemen, Syria, Jordan, Iran, and most of all, Egypt. Why Egypt? Because Iran and these other countries would rather send weapons to further the hate instead of sending aid, medicine, and food to the Palestinians. The Egyptians, if you can hear me now, and if Netanyahu can hear me now, I speak to you, sir. If the Egyptians can open their gates, not because of political pressure, not having to do anything with territory, having to do with there's injured people that need help, and they are Arab brothers of the Egyptians. Where are all the Arabs to help the Arabs? As I said a few minutes ago, the true history is, this is not about 1948 or anything else. This is about 7,000 years ago. And as I said, I was talking to a Yemenis man, and he said, but it's not fair, brother. They left the house and abandoned it. And I looked at him and I said, Jerusalem is not an apartment in Midtown Manhattan. They did not abandon it. If you study the history in 70 AD, Rome sacked Israel and forced the people out, and they are scattered. That is not the same thing as leaving a land and abandoning it. And I believe, as a Palestinian, knowing that the Ottoman Empire put our people in that situation, and the British, and left us there, and have confused us thinking that that's our land. Historically, I'm here to say the truth, the hard truth to swallow. That's the land of Israel and Jerusalem. I want the war to stop. I saw what happened in Golem Heights at the soccer field. I saw what happened. I know what's going on in Beirut. And guess what? They killed a couple of terrorists. Good for you. Anyone that wants to spill blood, anybody that wants to hate a Jew, anybody that wants to hate an Arab, just because of their bloodline, when we have nothing to do with what's going on there, we are trying to solve it ourselves as Americans. And all I can say for my last thing that I say is the Arab countries need to step up. Egypt needs to step up. Let the Palestinians in. Netanyahu will help you and will give you supplies if you cooperate with them and let them clear whatever they want out, Hamas, whatever they want to do. But let them clear that land, take care of the Palestinians who are injured so that they're safe, and give safety back to Israel for the first time since the pharaohs had them in slavery and Moses had to walk them across the Red Sea. Thank you, Rabbi Shmuley, for giving a Palestinian a chance. And this is an example of how we start with peace between our two bloodlines.
Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home!
Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home!
We are Orna and Rona Nutra. We are the parents of Omer Nutra, an American Israeli citizen held hostage in Gaza in the tunnels of Hamas terrorists. 300 long days and nights. Can you imagine? Almost 10 months not knowing whether our son is alive, waking up every morning and praying that he is waking up every morning, that he is strong, that he is surviving. Omer is a New Yorker. He was born here in New York City 1 month after 9/11. I was 8 months pregnant in the city that day, and my only focus was getting my unborn child to safety during the biggest terrorist attack here on U.S. soil. There was no public transportation, and I remember walking over the Queensboro Bridge. This was unimaginable back then, but it happened. The streets after the attack were filled with posters of missing persons. In my worst dreams, I couldn't have imagined the scenario we've been living through for almost 10 months now, since October 7th, the biggest terrorist attack and worst day since the Holocaust for the Jewish people. The eyes and smile of my son looking at me from posters in the street everywhere. And you know what? I couldn't have ever imagined that people would be ripping down these posters with no respect. Omer, 22 years old, was born here and raised on Long Island within the warm embrace of the Jewish community. He's a warm and optimistic and people-loving person, and everywhere he goes, he makes new friends. His friends describe him as someone who instantly lights up the room. And these are our IDF soldiers. They are good kids. He loves sports, and he is a mentor to everyone around him. He likes to make an impact. He was the captain of his sports teams in high school and the regional president of his youth group, USY. We are dual citizens of both Israel and the United States, and so we raised our boys with a love and passion for the USA and for Israel. He visited his family many times, and after graduating high school was accepted to college, but decided to spend a year in Israel in a leadership program. And during that year, he connected deeply to Israel, and being a descendant of Holocaust survivors from both sides, with an understanding that the Jewish people need a strong country of their own, he decided to join the IDF. He became a tank commander and an officer in the Armored Corps. He is a true hero. In his most recent position, he was stationed on a post on the border with Gaza, and his mission was to protect the kibbutzim, the residential areas along the border. We last spoke to him on Friday night, October 6th. He was looking forward to a quiet, peaceful weekend with his team, and we all know what happened later. First responders that day, and that's what they were, first responders to the worst attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust. Omer and his team were already in their tank when missiles came flying over Israel. They weren't aware of the extent of the border breach. Their tank was attacked, and Omer and his team were taken out. And later that day, Hamas showed in their propaganda videos how they're taking out the team. We have had no sign of life since that video. Omer turned 22 on October 14th, and instead of celebrating with family and friends, he was a week in captivity.
We keep saying, which is true, that our sense of time has been lost, that we are stuck on October 6th. In our last conversation with Omer, before he was taken from us, all of this seems like yesterday. And the days that we count, the milestones that we pass, remind us that time doesn't stop. Nor the hostages, not their families, not their friends and communities. The passing of time doesn't make it easier at all. Every day in captivity, their lives are at risk. We must make sure Omer and the hostages are released. This is urgent. Urgent. We know the army, the IDF, and Omer's friends serving there are searching for him. They're searching for all the other hostages. For months, they're risking their lives to rescue the hostages. Brave missions, some of them been rescued. If Omer was not abducted, he would be the one searching and rescuing as well. That's what the IDF does. We take care of each other. Since October 7, we have been focusing all our efforts to try and release Omer and the rest of the hostages. We met with numerous politicians and influence and spoken on rallies like this one, in Congress, on committees, with diverse groups, and on media appearances. We are doing everything we can because we are the soldiers of Omer now. Omer is one of 8 American hostages, and there are 115 hostages still in Gaza from 24 nations, from 5 different religions. This is a humanitarian crisis. This is not an Israeli problem. It's a global problem.
On October 7th, there were 45 American citizens that were murdered. We question, where is the outrage? Women were attacked and children were slaughtered. This was not just an attack on Israel. This was and remains an attack on American values of freedom, democracy, and independence. For anyone calling on a ceasefire, you must call first for the release of the hostages. The hostages have no time to spare. We call on all leaders to make sure that a deal is reached that will bring them back and will bring calm to the region for all sides. This calm will allow tens of thousands of evacuees the opportunity to return to their homes and begin the rehabilitation needed by the IDF and Israeli society, and will strengthen regional security. The time is now.
Let's say together, bring them home! 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 God bless America, God bless Israel, God bless the IDF, and God bless all of you. Am Yisrael Chai!
My friends, we are going to come back to Times Square with Omer Nutra. We are going to celebrate with the Nutra family and all the hostages, and we will dance again.
Shalom Aleichem, New York City! I want to start by singing B'kat Kohanim for all the soldiers in the IDF for fighting for our life, for our existence. B'kat Kohanim together with you all in the heart of the world after Jerusalem. אשר ישמרך יאמר אשר פניו אליך יברכך אשר ישמרך יאמר אשר פניו אליך ויחונך
the immediate past chief international spokesperson for the United States military worldwide. Our brave men and women serving in 180 nations. the Marines, the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, and the Coast Guard. And my buddy, my friend, Dana White, was the chief spokesperson for all of them at the Pentagon. Let's hear it for the United States military, greatest force for good on earth. USA! 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 Now Dana, you were the first woman and the first black woman to ever serve as chief spokesperson of the Pentagon, the United States military. But Dana wears that Star of David wherever she goes. And as a Christian lover of Israel, and there is no bigger lover of Israel in the entire United States, including Jonathan Conricus, which doesn't mean much because you're from Israel. She just had an anti-Semitic attack against her in the Boston Logan Airport, where she was attacked for wearing a Magen David. So now, for the introduction to Jonathan Conricus, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, what an honor, straight from Washington, D.C., the former chief international spokesperson for the United States military, Dana White. We have an incident, you know, that's the way it goes. Because these people don't just hate Israel. When I said the U.S. military, that's when they pounced. They hate America, so we apologize. Give it 1 minute. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't give these people the attention they seek. Please give it to Dana and to Jonathan Conricus! IDF! U.S. military, baby! Come back here! Let them leave! Don't give them the attention! IDF! U.S. military, USA! Ladies and gentlemen, Dana!
No Poly State! No Poly State! No Poly State!
I share your view that the United States military has been the greatest force for freedom, prosperity, and security the world has ever known. Serving as the chief Pentagon spokesperson under Secretary Mattis was the honor of my life. To tell the stories of our brave men and women in uniform, only 1% of the U.S. population, to serve them is a privilege. They are truly our best 1%. And I want to give a shout out to the New York PD, because I also know that a lot of them are former military and they appreciate their service and what they're doing every day. So thank you, NYPD. Thank you, Fire and Rescue. We love you. Thank you very much. As I say, my journey didn't start tailgate side. My journey started about in the 1930s in the city with my grandfather, Randolph L. White. He was born in 1896 in Virginia on the same plantation along the same owners who enslaved his grandparents. So my grandmother was a teenager when he left Virginia for Ohio to earn his high school diploma. Because at the time, Virginia did not educate blacks past 8th grade. My grandfather went on to serve in the U.S. Army in the 9th Cavalry, a Buffalo soldier. After working a few jobs, field hand to a porter, he returned to Charlottesville, Virginia, and got a job as a janitor at the University of Virginia Hospital. And there he struck up a friendship that would have a lasting impact on multiple generations. His name was Dr. William Goodwin, and he was the head of the University of Virginia Hospital. Now we have to remember this is the 1930s, so Dr. Goodwin wasn't necessarily loud about his Jewish heritage. And my grandfather always referred to him fondly and knew that he was Jewish. I imagine they became friends over sharing old soldier stories, because Dr. Woodland had also served in the U.S. Army as a lieutenant colonel. And he learned of my grandfather's service, and that he earned his high school diploma, and Dr. Goodwin promoted my grandfather. He promoted him to the head of housekeeping, which meant that he was responsible for hiring all the maids, all the cooks, all the janitors, all the orderlies for University of Virginia Hospital, which meant most blacks in Charlottesville owed their first job to my grandfather. Sadly, Dr. Goodwin could never see how much my grandfather would accomplish and what his single decision started. He died of a heart attack suddenly in 1937. But my grandfather went on to lead another department at the university, the respiratory therapy department, invented a special valve and sold the patent to the U.S. Navy. And he went on to be the publisher of the Charlottesville Albemarle Review. He ran it for over 50 years, and it was the oldest black-run newspaper in Virginia. My grandfather was a firm believer in education, and he sent my father to Howard University, where he met my mother and married. And I stand here before you in large part thanks to the decision of a Jewish doctor nearly 100 years ago. When the rabbi asked me to come and speak, in addition to introducing Jonathan, who really needs no introduction because we see him all the time. I've seen him like 4 times just today. I wanted to do 3 things. 1, I wanted to honor all Americans, past and present, who wear our nation's flag. Thank you. And our allies, our strongest allies in the Middle East, the Israeli Defense Forces, who fight every day for our rights, our principles, and most of all, for our Judeo-Christian values. Number 2, I'm also here to pay tribute to all of you. As a black, God-fearing, Jesus-loving Christian, I want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for being who you are. What I've always admired about Judaism is that its ethos to make the world better. In my community, we often talk about giving back and bringing people along, and that's great. But you see, within this community, there's this desire to give forward. You see, Dr. Goodwin, he didn't help my grandfather. My grandfather was smart. He earned his diploma. He served his country. My grandfather. Because let's face it, when we help someone, 90% of it is about us. How we feel, how it makes us look. Dr. Goodwin recognize someone. When you recognize someone, you respect them. And that's what he did. And as a result, my grandfather's granddaughter became the first black spokesperson of the United States military. There's a third thing. I also want to say, it is written, in Isaiah chapter 49, verse 6. I will make you a light for the nations, that you might bring salvation to the ends of the earth. You are the light of the world, and I am so sorry that the world is so dark right now. I'm sorry that my friend's daughter was threatened because she wore her star painted in this city. I'm sorry, and I'm ashamed. But I want you to know that you're not alone. You've never been alone, and you never will be alone. I know you know who you are, but I also just want to remind you of whose you are. Thank you for being you, because had God not chosen you, I would never have had the chance to choose him. Israel remains a beacon of hope, freedom, and prosperity, and a beacon of hostile to our shared values. You are a light unto nations and the apple of God's eye. And we all know God always wins. So with that, it is my pleasure to introduce retired Lieutenant Colonel, former IDF spokesperson, and Senior Defense Fellow at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracy, Jonathan Conricus.
Let's hear it from Dana White! An African-American Christian lover of Israel, speaker for all of the U.S. military who wears a Magen David everywhere she goes! And now, my friends, I introduce the keynote speaker, Israel's chief spokesperson for the great IDF, Conricus. Let me first give one giant thank you to those who protect us here at home, the CSS, the Community Security Services. They're protecting Jonathan, me. I think I need it. I'm not as big, as tall, as strong as this guy is. And of course to the NYPD. And I'm asking all of the people who are with us, please get off the wall. We are not here to respond. We are not here to provoke. We are here to celebrate Israel. We are celebrating the light, not fighting the darkness. Ladies and gentlemen, straight from doing 20 international interviews today alone, the chief and most eloquent spokesperson of the first Jewish army in 2,000 years, Colonel Jonathan Conricus.
Shalom. What an honor for a kid who grew up in Jerusalem or was born in Jerusalem, one of the greatest and perhaps most important cities in the world, our capital, our internal capital, Jerusalem. What an honor for someone who grew up there or was born there to come to New York, to be speaking in Times Square, to look around and to see a sea of beautiful people who come here with love, not with hatred, who come with strength and unity, who come with passion, and who are here with energies of love and of good, not of hatred, but of love for Israel, yearning for peace, and who are here to say words of strength and of love. I want to start by thanking Rabbi Boteach for organizing this event, Rabbi Boteach's staff, Gabi, who has been working tirelessly behind the scenes, and I want to thank the men and women of the NYPD for keeping us safe and for allowing us to be here in this beautiful city that was built also with Jewish sweat and toil, that became so great with Jewish actions. And we are here today because Jews over the time earned a place to stay here and speak. Because Jews built this city. And it is right for us to be here and stand and speak and be proud. New York is a city that symbolizes imagination, that symbolizes creativity, that symbolizes initiative and action. And all of these things are the same in Israel. Israel is a miracle amongst nations. It is a small country that up until a few years ago only had one resource to put to the table, and that is our human resource, the people that we have and that we are blessed with. And it is this people today that sadly is fighting. We are fighting for our survival against the very same people that are represented on the other side of the street, whose message is hatred, where our message is love. And what we are here to say today is that just as the brave men and women of the IDF who are fighting, as we stand here in New York City, in Times Square, they are fighting to keep Israel safe. What we are saying is that we are fighting here to preserve our way of life and to be proud where we live. We are not going to allow them to tell us what clothes to wear. We are not going to allow them to tell us which jewelry to have. And we're not going to allow them to dictate to us if we go to shul or if we don't, which school we send our kids, and we're not going to allow them to say and dominate the American campuses or the American streets. We are here, you are here. I'm not an American, but you are here as proud American patriots who claim to be proud and free and safe in your country. Now, I just came from Israel a few days ago, and the situation in Israel is not an easy one. The people are fighting, and the burden of fighting is heavy. Israel is fighting on 7 fronts simultaneously. We're fighting different faces of one enemy. Different people that are being used by a cynical, tyrannic regime, by a regime that has no love for their own people and no respect for human life, and that is the evil Iranian regime. And we are fighting a war that we did not start and we did not want. It was forced upon us by these savages on October the 7th, when they came across into Israel, murdered our men, our women, our children, our elderly, our Holocaust survivors. And they did some of the most atrocious things that only are remembered in the Holocaust or in horrible movies presented by ours. And every day that we are bombarded with relentless such expression that is I watched the bombs and I heard the testimonies.